Good morning. I'm coming to you today because of an experience that I had over the Memorial Day weekend. And it's a lesson that I learned. It's a lesson that I hope that especially my younger viewers who may have more time to watch my show because they're off school will take a page out of my book. While I was the victim, I could have handled it better. And this is what I want to talk to all of you about. But first, you need to know what actually happened from my point of view, since nobody that was involved actually ever got my side of the story. And for some reasons, that is also my fault. But basically, I was invited to a cookout at who I thought were friends of mine's trailer. Good friends. So, of course, we said yes. And I do know the rules. Even with good friends down here, there are rules. There are topics that are verbatim. You are not allowed to discuss politics, religion, racism, gay marriage, abortion, basically everything that makes me tick and that is important to me. I'm not allowed to discuss that down here when I am in a group of people. I know I have to mind my P's and Q's. I can't be myself, and that's fine. I can handle that. So I went to this cookout. There were 2 tables set up, and I sat at one table with my back to the other table. Now, there is also something you need to know about people down here. I don't remember everybody from one year to the other, especially people that I don't have close relationships with. So the man who was sitting behind me, I actually didn't recognize. It turned out I did know him. I mean, I knew his name, but I've never been close with him. He and his wife are good friends with the hosts of this party. So I think you have the cast of characters. So I'm sitting there, I'm eating a hamburger. I am talking to another couple who I do know, and actually I was talking to 3 or 4 people, and we were discussing food. We discussed cutting my hair, and then we discussed food, which I don't think is offensive to anyone. The last thing that I know we talked about before I blew up was the difference, what's better, pierogies or pot stickers? This is what the conversation was like, okay? There were no politics being discussed, nothing that would possibly set anybody else off or offend them. But every time I opened my mouth and responded to somebody, I heard this guy behind me making snarky comments. He wasn't involved in the conversation. No one was talking to him at my table. He was at another table with other people, but he was getting himself into the conversation, and he was basically heckling me all night long. All night long. And first of all, since I didn't recognize who he was, I was like, what is your problem? And then it just escalated. Now, I dealt with this for an hour. Here's what I should have done, okay? And this is for you young people out there who get bullied in a group. And the group, by the way, people who call themselves my friends, they heard what this guy was doing. But see, he's been their friend longer than I have. So he is in the upper echelons of the group, the mob, so to speak. So they're not going to do anything to ruin their friendship with him. My friendship is dispensable. It's disposable. They don't care if I'm not their friend anymore. That's how much they care about me. Now, one-on-one, they love me to death. Oh my God, they agree with everything I say. But in the group, they have to pretend to agree with the group. They can't go against an upper echelon guy they've known for decades. But they can certainly let him pick on me while I'm just sitting there eating a hamburger, debating whether pierogies are better than pot stickers. Okay? So finally, my blood was boiling. Here's what I should have done, though. And this is a lesson. I should have gone to my 2 hosts, the couple who hosted me. I should have said, Thank you so much for inviting me. One of your guests is harassing me on a regular basis, and I'm going to have to leave. That's one of the things I could have done. And then I should have just left, period. Okay? That would have made me a classy person. I didn't do that. Again, I was shocked. First of all, I didn't realize who this guy was. Second of all, I couldn't understand what I had done that so offended him that everything I said he had some kind of rude comment for. The other thing I could have done, and I should have done really, because this is something else, and you girls especially, you know, that when you're with your man, when you're with your husband, no man is going to bully you. I should have walked over. My husband, of course, conveniently was out of earshot. He didn't hear any of what this man said to me. These horrible things he said about my lifestyle, just ridiculous things. You need to get a job. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I'm eating a hamburger. Maybe I should have had a hot dog. I don't know what offended him about me sitting there, not discussing anything with him. He was at a different table. My back was to him. He was not involved no one was talking to him at my table. But he just kept insinuating himself into everything I said. I could have gotten up and went over to my husband and said, baby, you know what? I don't know what's going on with this dude, but everything I say, he's harassing me. Can you please come and stand by me or sit by me or just go over and ask him, what the hell is your problem with my wife? Could have done that too. I didn't. I didn't. I was so offended by the fact that not one person who heard what he was saying to me, that he was harassing me verbally, not one person said to him, yo, dude, I'm not going to mention his name, but why don't you leave her alone? Why are you harassing her? She isn't bothering you. But apparently my very presence bothered him. He's not on Facebook, by the way, because afterward, now here's the other insult for you women out there. He apologized to my husband. And my husband asked him point blank, what did you say to her? Oh, I don't know. I didn't say anything. Of course, he was drunk. Yeah, I didn't say anything. I don't know why she got so upset. She overreacted. The little woman overreacted. When some dude behind you gets into your conversation about pierogies and pot stickers and says, you need to get a job. I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't even know. Oh, I know who you are and you know who I am. And I'm like, at first I thought he was one of my Facebook stalkers, one of those haters on Facebook that I dealt with from this place last summer. Again, I really am not close with this guy. One conversation I had with him 2 years ago, he actually was nice to me. He gave me advice on what size central air conditioning to get. This is how quickly people turn on you down here. 1 minute you are their BFF, their ride and die, and the next minute they don't want to know you. Everything about you offends them. Jason asked him point blank, did she say something on Facebook he said, I'm not on Facebook. So it wasn't this show. It wasn't my politics that offended him because I wasn't discussing politics because I'm not allowed to. Here in what is really not, I guess this place isn't considered the United States of America because I'm not allowed to have my First Amendment right down here. But that's okay because I don't come down here to preach politics. I don't come down here to even socialize. I come down here to read, to have some private time, to relax, to lay in the sun, even though there has been no sun for days and days and days. Now, I did handle it badly. There were a few curse words used, but I was in complete and utter shock. And it took me a couple days to really think about it. And my husband at first, of course, thought I did something because I do. I'm a lightning rod for hate. because of my beliefs that are so different from most people down here. I like black people. I like gay people. I support gay marriage. I support women's right to choose. I support Planned Parenthood. I support abortion. I don't like President Trump. I have that right. But that is against what most people down here think. This is why I don't discuss these things in large groups. But even when I am discussing pot stickers and pierogies and, oh, I need my hair cut and I'm just eating a hamburger, minding my own fucking business, I still offend somebody just by my presence. I still don't understand why. I do believe I am owed an apology, but I will apologize for using the F-bomb. That is not usually what I do. But I felt the need, if nobody else around me, people who had called themselves my sisters, my friends, these were women. And when he said, go get a job, you need a job, the hostess does not go outside of her home and work. She's a housewife. So by insulting me for not having a job and why it bothers him so much that I don't have a job, it's not like I'm on welfare, that his taxes support me. My husband takes care of me just fine. Maybe he's got a bug up his ass because he can't support his wife. She has to go out and work. I did work hard when my husband and I first met. I worked 2 jobs. My husband worked 2 jobs. And my husband promised me that when he became successful, I could start doing what I enjoyed, which is turned out to be this show. If I had a full-time job, I wouldn't have time to do this show. But some people don't like that. Some people are jealous. Some people don't like it that they have to go home Sunday night and I get to stay here all week. I get it. I get that a lot of bullying comes from jealousy. And I also get that most bullies are cowards. As I said earlier, there is no way that this man would have made one snarky comment to me if my husband had been sitting next to me. They pick out someone they think they can beat or beat up on. Now, again, I handled it wrong. For that, I apologize. But I do not apologize for being upset. I don't apologize for sitting down at a place where I was invited, having a hamburger, and having nice conversations with people. I don't apologize for that because I didn't do anything wrong. I handled it badly. If I could do it over, which of course we all know, hindsight is 20/20. I would have done it differently. But I learned a lesson. I learned that my friendship, as good as it's been to a lot of these people, is not good enough for them. It's not valuable to them. I can't be myself around these people anyway. I learned that last year. I am only their friend as long as I agree with everything they agree with, believe everything they believe, or at least pretend to when I'm around them. So basically these people, and you young people are probably saying to me right now, because you're smarter than I am, those aren't your real friends. Damn right, they're not. And they are no longer my friends. I should have gotten an apology from my hosts the day after this happened. I should have gotten an apology from the bully, or at least an explanation of why I bothered him so much while I was eating my hamburger and discussing pot stickers and pierogies. But I didn't get that. And now, after the fact, this far after the fact, that I haven't heard from anybody, and the fact that there was a dance down at the beach after this event, and all of my so-called sisters and dear BFF sisters, friends, ignored me completely at that dance, I guess it's my fault. It's my fault that I attended a party I was invited to, sat down, ate a hamburger, was trying to have non-offensive conversations, basically boring conversations that bore me to tears, about food and my hairstyle, and I still offended somebody. And nobody stepped in to defend me. It's my fault, like it always is. I guess maybe a strong woman like myself who has opinions that are different, who actually has the balls to defend gay marriage, to defend a woman's right to decide what happens in her own body. I guess I scare these people because they know that just because I'm the only one of my kind here, there are many millions more out there like me. You know from watching this show that I don't hate on people who disagree with me. I respect their right to do so. And I learn from all of you who have different opinions than me. My viewership consists of people from all different religions, all different walks of life, all different classes of people, different countries, people who believe in the right to choose, and people who are pro-life, people who don't agree with gay marriage, and people who do. You are all welcome at my table, always. But apparently people like me are not welcome at all tables, at least down here in Earlville, Maryland. Because here you have to toe the line. Even if you're not discussing your politics, anyone who knows how you roll doesn't want you in their presence. Well, see, that's not American, is it? That's not the way we roll here at Political Paula. That's not the way I run my Facebook pages, my Twitter page, or my YouTube page. So, that's what happened. And for you young people out there, don't handle a bully the way I did. Don't stomp off, drop an F-bomb. Don't cause a scene. Quietly excuse yourself from the situation, but make sure that people know why you are leaving. Because you were made to feel uncomfortable by someone else who was invited. Shame the bully. That's what I should have done. Because it was his shame until I dropped the F-bomb, and now it's my shame. But I don't apologize for anything I said during that cookout, because I said nothing. Nothing offensive, nothing that would offend anyone. So I'd like to hear your comments on this. I've already written about it on Facebook, and I have gotten a lot of really great responses, including a story from several other women who also were bullied by their friends' husbands or their friends' friends, but always by a man, and always out of earshot of their husbands. And remember this, all bullies are cowards. They bully out of jealousy or out of fear. Fear for someone who is different than them, who gets respect for being different, and who scares them. That's what it's all about. Normal people don't fear what is different. They don't fear people like me. They are comfortable in their own skin and their own beliefs enough that I shouldn't threaten them. The fact that I do, maybe that means I'm doing my job. Yeah, my job. I don't get a paycheck for doing this show, but I am very passionate about it, and I love it. And when I don't do a show, I actually miss it. So there it is. That's my horrible, awful, but very educational Memorial Day weekend. And once again, let's remember what Memorial Day was really about. It was about those who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country, even some who are fighting in wars they don't even understand. So for now, once again, I can't wait to read your comments. Political Paula is unapologetic and out.